It's horrific, outright disgusting legislation that threatens the physical and emotional well-being of Ohio's children.
Ohio House Democrats are calling out their colleagues, claiming a bill the Republicans just passed could harm all of Ohio's children. We're talking about House Bill 151, focusing on transgender student athletes.
It would require the physical exam of a child's genitalia if there was any question about gender. 10 TV's Brittany Bailey has been spending the day digging into this issue and finding out what's next. Britt?
Well, Yolanda, let's first take a look at this tweet here. It is from a Washington State mother who says, "This is my daughter. She just turned 9, and here is why I would never allow her to play middle or high school sports if we lived in Ohio." That's because what's happening here in our state is making national headlines, and some say these efforts pose a danger to all Ohio children.
These are the tools of the trade we normally think of in school sports, but some are worried this also could become the norm.
You can see that this needs to be put in and opened in such a manner that it can create a lot of discomfort to the patient.
That's a speculum, and it's what's used to examine the female genitals. And it could be used on school-age girls across our state if a proposed bill becomes law.
Illegally forcing children to undergo medically unnecessary genital inspections and internal exams to play sports is horrifying. And I have been doing this all my life. I'm appalled that the Ohio House Republicans passed this bill.
House Bill 151, also called the Save Women's Sports Act, passed the Ohio House June 1st, the first day of Pride Month. But it's the language within the bill that is sending shockwaves throughout the state and beyond. If a student athlete's gender is disputed, the athlete would have to undergo an internal and external genital exam and take a blood test to prove genetic makeup. Democratic leaders hosted a press call about this Thursday morning.
This extreme legislation, which would require children to have genital exams to play high school sports, is nothing short of state-sanctioned sexual abuse.
This bill is about all children. Every child can be subject to genital inspection because a stranger questions that they are not a true girl or boy.
The sponsor of the bill is Representative Don Jones. He provided 10 TV a statement saying the Save Women's Sports Act is a fairness issue. Most parents would agree girls should be able to compete in sports against other girls, not biological males. Senate President Matt Huffman criticized the House for passing that legislation as a last-minute floor amendment and said the Senate may act differently on its own legislation, Senate Bill 132.
I think it's a bad way to change policy, something that is a lot of people are interested in. And so, we have a bill over here, and I think we'll probably move that bill when we have time to properly vet it.
No matter the chamber, House Democrats are clear in their message.
To our Republican colleagues, we say our children's genitalia are none of your business.
So here's a question for you. What happens if the Senate and House do eventually agree on a version that makes it to the governor's desk? Well, we'll hear what Mike DeWine has to say about that coming up at 6. Also, we'll break down the stats when it comes to transgender student athletes here in Ohio. Andrew?
All right, Brittany, thanks so much.